Hospital waste management. You must have seen these colored bags on any visit to a hospital. The lecture mainly concerns these colored bags. What is biomedical waste? The official definition of biomedical waste in India has been given under biomedical rules by the Ministry of Environment. Biomedical waste is any waste which is generated during the diagnosis, treatment or immunization of human beings or animals, or waste generated during research activities or in production or testing of biologicals, and those in categories as mentioned in Schedule 1 of the rules. We will talk about these categories a little later in the lecture. Biomedical waste is hazardous because of its infectivity and toxicity. This is a picture of hospital waste being strewn around carelessly along with the municipal waste, exposing the rag pickers and animals to toxic and infectious material. Fortunately, this tendency has shown a declining trend in recent past in the country. Biomedical waste consists of human anatomical waste, animal anatomical waste and waste generated due to research, microbiology and biotechnology waste, sharps, which include hypodermic needles, syringes, broken glass, scalpels, blade, etc., which can cause injury and potential infection. Discarded medicines, soil wastes such as soil dressings, bandages, plaster casts, and contaminated tubes, IV tubes, catheters. Liquid wastes, incineration ash. It is generally seen that 15 to 20% of the waste that is generated in a healthcare facility is actually biomedical waste. The remaining 80% of the waste is general healthcare waste, which is comparable to normal domestic waste and can hence be handled by the urban waste management system. That is, the municipal corporation can handle this 80% of the waste. These are the broad types of healthcare waste. Infectious waste, waste which can suspected to contain pathogens and can transmit infections, for example lab cultures, swabs, excreta from patients. Pathological waste, human tissues, for example amputated body parts, fetus, blood. Sharps, they include needles, infusion sets, scalpels, knife, blade, broken glass, and can cause injury and potentially in sub-infections. Pharmaceutical waste, expired drugs which are thrown away. Genotoxic waste, cytotoxic drugs which can harm the human tissues, especially the genetic material. Cytotoxic drugs are often used in cancer treatment. Chemical waste, it contains chemicals which can be toxic like lab reagents, film developer, disinfectants. Then wastes which contain high content of heavy metals like batteries with lead, broken thermometers, BP apparatus with mercury, pressurized containers, gas cylinders, oxygen, nitrous oxide, etc., aerosol cans, and radioactive waste, unused liquids from radiotherapy department, excreta from patients who have been treated with radionuclides. The health hazard of biomedical waste are because of infectious agents, toxic chemicals, sharps which can cause injury and some infections, genotoxic material, radioactive material. The groups who are at risk from the hazards of healthcare waste are doctors, nurses and paramedical workers in the healthcare establishments, patients in healthcare establishments, visitors to these healthcare establishments, workers in allied services in the hospitals, for example laundry workers, and workers in waste handling and transportation units, and workers in the final waste disposal facilities. And these also include rag pickers. So workers who are working in the landfills, handling the healthcare waste, and incinerators. The hazards of healthcare waste can be infections from infectious waste and sharps, especially HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, antibiotic resistant bacteria. The bacteria found in our healthcare establishments are more likely to be resistant to various antibiotics. And if the general public is exposed to these infections by these bacteria, there is a risk of spread of bacteria which is resistant to generally used antibiotics. Hazards due to chemical and pharmaceutical waste. These can be corrosive, can cause corrosion on the skin, can cause burns, and may be potentially explosive. The hazards of genotoxic waste depend upon the toxicity of the substance that the person has been exposed to, the amount to which he has been exposed, and the time period for which the exposure took place. Radioactive waste. The effects can range from headache, dizziness and vomiting after small exposure to serious health problems including death if the exposure is high. And last but not the least, public sensitivity. The public is very sensitive to the visual impact of healthcare waste, especially anatomical waste. Why there is a need for a special treatment of biomedical waste generated in hospitals? The reasons are: injuries can occur from sharps, and these injuries can lead to infection, and all categories of hospital workers and waste handlers are at risk from these. Nosocomial infections in patients from poor management of the waste. The patient comes for treatment and gets additional infections because of poor management of healthcare waste which has given him infection. Risk of infection going outside hospitals. For example, waste handlers, scavengers, and at times even general public living around the hospital. The risk of harm associated with hazardous chemicals and toxic drugs, especially to people who are handling waste at any level. There is a risk of the disposable items being picked up from the trash and repacked and resold, sometimes without even being washed. Expired drugs and disposed of drugs. There is a risk of them being picked up and repacked and sold off to unsuspecting buyers. And the risk of infectious and toxics escaping into air, water and soil. Whose responsibility is it for safe disposal of biomedical waste? The responsibility has been fixed by the biomedical waste rules on the healthcare facilities who are generating the biomedical waste. It is the duty of these healthcare facilities to take all the necessary steps to ensure that such waste is handled properly and safely so that there is no adverse effect to humans and environment. The healthcare facility can treat the waste in its own treatment facilities or can take the services of a common biomedical waste treatment and disposal facility. The process of biomedical waste management consists of waste collection, segregation into appropriate colored bins, storage of the segregated waste, treatment at the local spot, transport to the final disposal site, and the final disposal. Categories of biomedical waste in India. The biomedical waste has been categorized as per the Biomedical Waste Rules 1988 into 10 categories. These rules have been prescribed by the Ministry of Environment and Forests. The categories would be shown in the following slides. It is important to note that the biomedical waste should be segregated into containers at the point of generation itself. The color coding and the type of container should be as prescribed in the rules, which again we'll talk about a little later. These containers should be clearly marked with the biohazard symbol, the cytotoxic hazard symbol. And these symbols should be prominent and should not wash away with frequent washings. The table shows the categories of biomedical waste. Category 1 consists of human anatomical waste, Category 2 animal waste, Category 3 microbiology and biotechnology waste, Category 4 sharps, Category 5 medicines and cytotoxic drugs. Category 6 soiled waste like soiled dressings, cotton, plaster casts, etc. Category 7 solid waste, that is solid disposable items other than sharps like tubing, catheters, urine bags, etc. Category 8 liquid waste. Category 9 incineration ash. Category 10 chemical wastes, chemicals which are used in biologicals as disinfectants, as lab reagents, etc. The table shows the color coding, that is the color of the bag in which the particular category of waste should be segregated at the point of generation itself. So put in the same colored bin as soon as it is generated. Yellow. The yellow container should receive category 1, 2, 3 and 6 waste. Category 1 means human waste, 2 animal waste, category 3 is biotechnology and microbiology waste, and category 6 is soiled waste like dressings, etc. Red colored container should receive category 3, 6 and 7. Category 3 is biotechnology and microbiology waste. Category 6 is again soiled waste, and category 7 is solid waste. Blue bag or white translucent bag should be made up of very strong material, puncture proof material, and it receives category 4, that is sharps, and category 7, that is solid waste. The black container should receive category 5, category 9 and category 10 waste. Category 5 is the discarded medicines and cytotoxic drugs. Category 9 is incineration ash, and category 10 is chemicals which are solid. Category 8, which contains liquids, infectious liquids, and category 10 liquids, need not be placed in any container, should be treated locally. The yellow bag, there should be no plastics in this bag because the waste from this bag would be incinerated or will be disposed of by deep burial. The red bag, there should be no sharps in this bag, and it is treated by either autoclaving or microwaving or chemical treatment of the contents. The blue bag is for the sharps, and hence it should be puncture proof and made up of strong material. The contents are, after shredding and destruction, to be disinfected by autoclaving, microwaving and chemical treatment. The black bag should contain the general waste from the hospital, and the contents can be disposed of in secured landfill. Segregation of biomedical waste. Segregation refers to the separation of different categories of the waste at source itself. Segregation is the most crucial step of biomedical waste management because effective and efficient segregation can ensure effective biomedical waste management. The segregation of biomedical waste should be in accordance to the guidelines under the Schedule 1 of biomedical waste rules. The Schedule 1 refers to the 10 categories that have been discussed before. How does segregation help? Segregation reduces the amount of waste that needs special handling because segregation is done at the generation itself, at the source of the waste itself. And effective segregation at source itself prevents any mixing of medical waste with general municipal waste. It prevents any illegal reuse of disposable items. It provides an opportunity for recycling certain components of medical waste like plastics, obviously after disinfection. The recycled plastic material from biomedical waste can be used for non-food grade applications. And effective segregation at source itself reduces the cost of treatment and disposal at the final site. The bins and bags carrying the biomedical waste should have biohazard symbols printed on them. The Schedule 3 of biomedical waste rules mention the biohazard symbol as these biohazard and cytotoxic labels should be non-washable and should be prominently visible on the containers. Collection of biomedical waste after segregation into different colored bins or bags. The collection refers to collecting different types of containers from various sources of the hospital like operation theatre, laboratories, wards, kitchen, corridors, etc. The colored containers should be placed in such a way that it ensures 100% collection of biomedical waste into proper colored bins. The sharps, that is needles, broken glass, must always be kept in a puncture-proof containers to avoid injuries to infections and workers handling them, and these puncture-proof containers can then be placed in the blue bag or blue container. The picture shows throwing the biomedical waste in the appropriate colored container, leading to effective segregation at generation itself. Once the biomedical waste has been collected from all the sources in the hospital, it should be temporarily stored in a proper place till it is transported to the final disposal site. Even at the storage site, the biomedical waste should be kept in identifiable containers into the appropriately colored containers. The duration of storage pending disposal should not exceed more than 8 to 10 hours in big hospitals and should not be stored for more than 24 hours in nursing homes. Each container inside the large storage should be clearly labeled to show the ward or room where it has come from, because it may be sometimes required to trace the waste back to its source if there is a mistake, then for correction. The storage area should be segregated and should be marked with a caution sign. The picture shows the storage area in a large hospital in a metropolitan city. In this hospital, even the corridors which are used to transport the biomedical waste to these storage sites are separate and not used for any other purpose. Transportation of the biomedical waste from the storage site in the hospital towards the site for final disposal. The waste should be transported either in closed trolleys or covered wheelbarrows. Manual loading should be avoided as far as possible. The bags or containers containing biomedical waste should be thoroughly tied or lidded before transportation. Before transporting the bag, it should be accompanied with a signed document signed by nurse or doctor which mentions the date, shift, quantity and the destination of the biomedical waste. Special vehicles must be used so as to prevent access to the biomedical waste by the transport operators or scavengers and the general public. The effect of traffic accidents should be considered in the design of the transport vehicle, and the driver must be trained in the procedures that he must follow in case of an accidental spillage. Personal safety devices must be used by all the personnel at all levels who are handling biomedical wastes. These include gloves. The gloves should be heavy duty rubber gloves. They should be bright colored. After handling the waste, the gloves should be washed twice with carbolic soap and disinfectant. The size should fit the operator. Aprons, masks, boots. The boots should be rubber soled and should be anti-skid, and they should cover the leg up to the ankle. What is the final method of disposing of the biomedical waste? So, treatment and disposal technologies for biomedical wastes. The oldest tradition is incineration, that is burning away the waste. Two mostly used incinerators are double chamber pyrolytic incinerator and rotatory kilns. Chemical disinfection, wet and dry thermal treatment. Wet thermal treatment is exposure to high pressure steam, something similar to autoclaving. And non-burn dry thermal disinfection is dry thermal treatment. Microwave irradiation. As you know, microwaving heats up the water present inside the waste to such a high level of temperature that the waste is rendered non-infectious. Land disposal, not to be dumped in open dumps, to be dumped inside sanitary landfills. Inertization, it's a technique where mostly the pharmaceutical waste is mixed with cement and other inert substances before disposal. This reduces the risk of migration of the toxic substance into surface or groundwater. If every healthcare facility, however small, is asked to develop and maintain its own biomedical waste treatment facility, then it is not feasible. Hence, common biomedical waste treatment facilities have been brought into practice. Common biomedical waste treatment facility is a setup where the biomedical waste generated from a number of healthcare units is transported to and imparted the necessary treatment, and the treated waste is sent for final disposal in a landfill or for recycling. The installation of individual treatment facilities by small healthcare units requires comparatively huge capital investment and also requires separate manpower and infrastructure for proper operation and maintenance of such units. Also, the Central Pollution Control Board and the State Pollution Control Boards are supposed to keep a regulatory tabs on treatment waste facilities, and if they have to go hospital to hospital for inspecting these biomedical waste treatment facilities, it will be a huge task for them. By having common biomedical waste treatment facility in the city, the task of regulatory agencies also becomes easier, as they have to regulate and check only one or two biomedical waste treatment facilities. This is a picture of a common biomedical waste management facility in a city in India. One of the major achievements of India has been changing the attitudes of operators of healthcare facilities to incorporate good healthcare waste management practices, and they can purchase the waste management services from private sector. So most of the common biomedical waste treatment facilities are private nowadays.